Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA, and this video is going to be about Kelvin Gastelum and Jacare Souza. They made it official for UFC 224. I'm digging this matchup. You feel me? I feel like Kelvin Gastelum, he earned himself a big fight with that win over Bisping, that emphatic knockout win of Bisping, which ironically, if that happened 2 weeks prior, would have made him world champion. But Kelvin Gastelum's, like I've been saying, he's got the cleanest boxing in MMA. His footwork and just his crispness in his strikes, his head movement, all the fundamentals and the core techniques and concentrations of boxing he has down to a T, and he translated it into MMA better than anybody I've seen. I'm gonna come out with a real hot take. I feel like he has the best MMA boxing in the game. I was talking to my homie about it the other day. Like Kelvin's got one of the best, if not the best, MMA boxing, and I said he's probably one of the few fighters I could see translating over into actual pure boxing and actually doing well in boxing on like a decently high level. I would only say like the only competition of MMA boxing is Stipe, because Stipe's got really precise boxing. That's the thing about a Stipe, I would say, is that Stipe's got really clean, precise boxing, and it's his target. He knows how to break guards and get in between the spots where he wants to hit, like motherfucking Luke Skywalker trying to take down the Death Star. But Kelvin, just all around, bro, his boxing is just like immaculate, honestly. And when Weidman was pressuring him at one point in the fight had him up against the fence, and Weidman was just like throwing combos, and Gastelum was just, bro, his head movement, man, is just on some other shit, bro. Rafael Cordeiro is probably one of the most slept on, underrated coaches there is. I know he won Coach of the Year back in like 2015, 2016. But bro, if you look at all of Rafael Cordeiro's fighters, they've got really good head movement. So, you look at RDA. I know RDA left Rafael Cordeiro, but he developed that head movement under Rafael. Verdum's got good head movement too. Not to that extent of like a Gastelum, but Verdum's got like good head movement. Overall, when you look at Verdum's the perfect example, because Verdum was almost like a Damian Maia at one point, and Rafael Cordeiro took him and turned him into one of the greatest mixed martial artists there is. He took one of the greatest pure jiu-jitsu players and turned him into a mixed martial arts champion. I feel like when you're looking at I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Yeah. So when you look at Verdum and his striking, how far he came, and it's specifically under Cordeiro's Muay Thai system, and he's got his own Thai system where he actually belts people. So you under Rafael Cordeiro, you could actually be a black belt in Muay Thai. So he's got his own system that I would honestly, I'm fully intrigued by and would love to learn it, because Cordeiro doesn't even emphasize hands up. He emphasizes head movement more than anything. It's like, it doesn't matter if your hands are up as long as your head's always off the center line. But I kind of veered off just talking about Gastelum and his skills. But Jacare, man, we know Jacare is dangerous on the feet. We know he's got great jits. And the thing about this matchup, I feel like this was Chris Weidman's fight, but the thing is, he's hurt. His hand still hasn't healed up, so they can't really make it at this moment. I thought next for Gastelum would have been Rockhold, but Rockhold is moving up to 205, which I find super fucking funny, because when he was champion of the world, he was talking about how he's going to send Weidman out the weight class, and now he's the one leaving the weight class. But anyway, yeah, I thought Gastelum should get Rockhold, because that would have been I think that would have been fucking A, man. Can you believe this shit, bro? This is what happens when I do videos at Brooklyn. You hear all that like noise from the road. Yeah, when I'm doing my videos in Pennsylvania, it's fucking crystal quiet. So anyway, that's the thing about New York City. It's always loud. Yeah, so Rockhold, I thought Gastelum would have been good for Gastelum to add to his resume, but I feel like Jacare is just as good. I'm not gonna do my picks on it yet, but I feel like this is a great matchup. Gastelum is just like a perennial contender in whatever weight class he's in. You know what I mean? He has to have a belt around him within the next 2 years. He has to. I don't see how Kelvin can't be champion. I just feel like his skill set is too high. He's so young, and you know, he's not even in his prime yet. So him being this good, not even in his prime, I feel personally it's an inevitability that he's going to be champion. It just, whether it's at 170 or 185, 170 more likely, although I feel like he could be 185 champion. I feel like he just has to mentally ready himself, because in his head he said, even before his fights, before, when he was like talking about the division, oh, it's like 2 minutes to 6 o'clock, I gotta go watch Joe Ban fight, so I gotta wrap this up. He said that, yeah, he was like, oh, I don't see me beating Chris, I don't see me beating Luke. But I feel like that's a mental thing, because he dropped Chris, so he's got hands enough to do work in the middleweight division. So I feel like this is a good fight. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try and do some more videos tonight after the fights or during the fights, or however it works out. But yeah, man, Jacare Kelvin, great fight, great matchup. I'm looking forward to it. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.